Hey everyone, welcome to Feelings with the Geekiary. I'm Erin. I'm here along with fellow hosts Yvonne and Tara. Excuse me, jeez. We're fans, we have feelings, and this is where we webcast about them.
Yay!
Hello, welcome.
Welcome. Okay, so friendly reminder that this is also a podcast, so please subscribe to us on iTunes so you don't miss any of our feelings. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, please remember that this is recorded live, so we are not exactly sure what's going to happen. So please forgive us any technical difficulties or accidental swears. You can join the conversation with the hashtag Geekiary Feelings. Come on, how will we know we're wrong if you don't tell us?
All right. We would like to remind all of you that the views expressed on this webcast are those of the hosts as individuals and do not necessarily represent the Geekiary or the webcast itself as a whole. Yeah, so it's like August. We were supposed to do this last week, but Vaughn had technical difficulties and I was really sick. Curses con crud, like the worst.
Oh no.
So here we are this month, and yeah. So
I can't believe it's August already. Like,
oh my God, I know. Like, where did July go?
Well, we're already Comic-Con.
We're already 2 days into August too. Like, what is happening?
It's actually the 3rd.
What
is it?
It's August 3rd.
Is it?
Well,
really?
it's August. It's the 4th in Australia, right?
It is. Yeah. It is. I hate to tell you,
you're right.
A day behind.
It is the 3rd. My God.
She titled the document August 2nd because, you know,
I've lost a day somewhere. It probably went to Concrud, I'll be real. So yeah, news and stuff. Make sure you check us out on Patreon and consider donating to help the site, keep the site running, pay for administrative costs, maybe eventually pay for other things like more trips to San Diego Comic-Con because that's getting so expensive. And our Patreon is patreon.com/the Geekiary. So we're very easy to find.
Just Google Patreon the Geekiary, you'll find it.
Yeah, that too. We have hashtag Hairgate, aka Man Bun Gate, still in our news section. But now that Game of Thrones is like airing again, are we all watching it? Vaughn, I can't remember if you quit watching it.
No, I still watch it. I still watch it.
I have so many friends who've like rage quit it at this point that I can't really remember who's still watching it.
I don't care enough to rage quit. Like, I enjoy watching it on this like weird superficial level where I just want to know what happens, and I'm quite attached to like 2 characters. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even attached to anybody. Well, I guess Sandor still, but like
Sansa.
Yeah. See, like Sansa, I am, but like she's still not really like my Sansa,
although to be fair, like, I mean, I thought I didn't feel things, but when like Jon Snow and Daenerys were together, I was just like, what?
See, I like wanted to see, like, I wanted to feel that, and I don't know, I didn't really like. I don't know. Like, I felt like there was not much chemistry between the actors.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I thought that it was quite. I mean, I don't expect a lot, and like I still have like weird emotional attachments. Like every time a Stark goes back to Winterfell, I'm just like, and getting hyped. But I don't. I'm not going to sit there and like write an analysis of anything and go through it.
Yeah, Stephanie missed the first 2 weeks because of Comic-Con, and now she's missing this Sunday because of Gish Wishies, or however the hell you pronounce it. And I wrote 2 reviews for this show, and I think I'm gonna have to do it again this Sunday unless somebody else from the website wants to do it. Because like honestly, like they're almost fun for me to write because they're just ranty, and I know that I don't have to do it every week like with Walking Dead for so long. But at the same time, like, does anybody really just want to read like my pissed off rants about Game of Thrones? Because that's literally all it is.
I do actually want to read your pissed off rants about Game of Thrones.
Like, I can tweet funny things about it while it's going on, but then when I actually sit down and write an article, like a review about it, it's just a lot of like frustration at what is even going on with this show right now. I mean, one thing about I will say about Jon Snow and his man bun. Did you notice like how crazy Daenerys's hair is lately? Like, sorry, cosplayers, but those braids are absolutely insane, and I feel like her and Jon Snow are just gonna keep going, like trying to show each other up with their hair.
A hair off.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. That's how they actually battle. They'll have like a hair off where they design hairstyles for each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. Now I need fan fiction of them like braiding each other's hair.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if that existed. Like
I'm
an AU. Seriously, like an AU where like Rhaegar became king and like the war never happened and Rhaegar became king and Jon and Daenerys were like raised next to each other and like braided each other's hair when they were young. If that doesn't exist, somebody needs to write it.
I don't even need it to be AU. I just want them to be hanging out at Dragonstone chatting about like how like Daenerys talking about how cool she is and Jon Snow being like whatever. And
Davos meanwhile just being amazing because he's the best thing
he's
about
like the worst hype man ever. Like
he is the like now that Olenna is gone, he is literally the last best thing about that show, if you ask me.
Oh no. See, all I want now, all I'm waiting for is for like Sansa to murder Littlefinger.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, if Jon Snow's not there and Arya turns up at Winterfell and Arya and Sansa are in charge, then a lot of murder is going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of rumors about Arya and Sansa pairing up to kill Littlefinger already, so like it's probably gonna happen.
If it does, I will be happy. I don't even care if it's fan service. That is the fan service that I deserve.
Yeah. Yeah. Like at this point I feel like the only times I really enjoy the show is when they're doing like fan service.
Yeah, but that's kind of at this point, like it is just fan service. Like I'm not expecting it to be some kind of like literary masterpiece. I'm just expecting characters that I know and are quite attached to do stuff that I kind of always imagined them doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like pretty sometimes still.
It is. It's a good-looking show. Good-looking show.
Erin, like I know you still watch it. Have you watched this Sunday's episode?
Yes, I'm caught up.
Did you like it?
Yeah. I mean, there were obviously some parts where I was like, yeah. Like the Bran and Sansa reunion at Winterfell.
You're like, yeah.
Who didn't love that? Who
so
didn't
good.
love that? So
Get the Starks back together, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I agree with Vaughn. Like at this point, it's just fan service. So what's not to like, really?
Yeah. I guess my only like my issues with it are mostly like I can handle like the change. Like I've long ago just kind of started riding this dragon for what it's worth. But like when the show doesn't make any sense, it still gets to me. Like not even when it not like you know changes from the books or anything. I'm talking about when it like logistically does not make sense. It takes me out of the story. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Fair. That is an understandable criticism. If I was thinking about it at all, then I would probably have that criticism, but I'm not. So I'm just like, yeah, Starks at Winterfell.
Yeah, I mean, it would be easier for me to not think about it if like I didn't have like just I'm a member of like so many like fan groups and stuff because of like the con and everything that it's like there's constantly somebody talking about it. So it's like even if I try not to think about it, it's on my news feed 10 times. So I've given up like trying to ignore the bad parts and just kind of having fun with them, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I have fun going on Twitter rants about it.
See, like, you know, hate watching stuff is fun too.
That's gonna be me with Walking Dead this season. Like, I don't have to review it anymore. I can just hate watch it.
Yeah.
I don't have to look for those compliments to sandwich all of my hate with.
Sandwich your hate with compliments. So it did all right, but then it was shit. But then it did all right.
Exactly.
All right. So we move on to the big news of the past month, which is San Diego Comic-Con, which I was not at, but watched you guys give fantastic coverage. I read it all, and it was great.
Some of us are still working on our coverage.
I still have
kind of want to go back, but not really, not heaps, but maybe
I wasn't even press, and I still have like a couple articles I'd like to write, but it's nothing like super pressing, which is nice.
Well, you know, it takes a while to get through.
Yeah, I mean, our whole news page on the Geekiary is like, it's like 95% Comic-Con news still, so I can't believe it was like 2 weeks ago. Jesus.
Comic-Con has been this kind of Comic-Con's always a bit of an intense time for everyone. I mean, although like you're less kind of getting the big announcements coming from Comic-Con nowadays because they spread them out and they're doing them at different things, but still a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, even people who weren't there, like I know like in our document I have like a list of like little newsy things from Comic-Con, but like there was like the whole Supergirl controversy thing that happened, and like we had Fareed, who wasn't even at Comic-Con, writing about what was going on at Comic-Con. So sorry guys, I'm still coughing.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, Comic-Con, there's like every year at Comic-Con, for at least for the last 7 years or so, there's been someone who's insulted fans because apparently they're not media trained. So, you know, well, it's, to be fair, they supply them with alcohol and just make them answer in 9 questions, and you expect them. I mean, not that I forgive them because it's like their job to do this, but I think
but some of their publicists did not do a good job. Either. So.
Well, I mean, I have like there's a lot of publicists out there that just do not understand fandom at all, and I'm like, dude, just hire an intern, a fan as your intern,
really,
like, to ask your questions. Just, it's not that hard.
I mean, being a publicist, my dog shakes himself. I know, right? I agree, Rigby. Like, I was talking about this with some people, won't name names, but like, you know, somebody's like, I don't understand how publicists get their jobs, because like, honestly, I mean, I got to be real, about 85 to 90% of the publicists I've had to deal with the past several years have not been good at what they do. And it's, you know, like I said, it's definitely of like nepotism and how attractive you are.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, you don't actually have to be good at being a publicist to get a job in PR and like stay in it. Although, please, like, I hope that somebody got a, you know, smack on the back of the hand for what happened with the Supergirl stuff, because there were like several publicists involved that did very badly, including one who wrote back to a fan a kind of like pseudo-threatening weird email, and then also completely misspelled Katie McGrath's name. She called her Katie McGrath with FF. Like,
I mean, that is just like, I mean, that is, you never, that's like rule number 1, do not engage.
Don't get emotional, don't engage.
Yeah, like,
I was really lucky. Like, I had pretty good luck with all of my publicists that I worked with this year for Comic-Con. So that was good, but
shouldn't insult publicists because they do they do an important job, and they work very hard.
They do, especially the ones that organize like the Comic-Con stuff. Like the ones I think we're referencing are like not organizers of things.
No.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I just have no sympathy for publicists who don't know how to deal with fans, because that's part of your job now. Like, I mean, I know before it was like you purely dealt with like media and stuff, but now it's like it's your job to be able to understand and communicate with fans.
And now, honestly, half the time or more, the media is the fans. Like most, like when I go to press rooms and stuff, I mean, I haven't at Comic-Con in a couple of years, but when I did, you know, even 2-3 years ago, and when I go to them at Dragon Con and whatnot, most of the people in those rooms are fan bloggers. You know, their websites are like ours, you know, they're bigger websites. It's not somebody running a .blogspot.com or whatever. You know, they've got thousands or tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of you know, hits a month and everything, but they started off small and became big quickly because they're doing well, you know, they're doing a good job with their writing and their coverage. And it's like, it's been years now that it's been like that. So they should really be used to dealing with fans, not just fans emailing them from their computer at home, but the, you know, the people in the press rooms are more often than not fans and not somebody from, I don't know, Entertainment Weekly or TV Guide or whatever.
I mean, the amount of problems that they get from things like Comic-Con that stem from a miscommunication about what fans want and how to talk to fans is like bonkers. You're just like, and it's so frustrating to watch because you're like, this could be solved if you just like took the time to understand.
Well, I have to give another shout out, and I plan on writing an article, like a whole article about this, but the whole production team behind Winona Earp has been doing amazing. And as an example, I went to the cast party during Comic-Con that was open to fans. I went as a member of the media, but there were a lot of fans there. It was mostly fans. And IDW rented out an entire bar. It was open bar. There was free food, DJ, the production team and the entire cast were out there interacting with fans, taking photos, talking to them the whole time for 3 hours. It wasn't just like the first hour when the media was there. It was the whole time. And I've never seen anything like that. These people love their fans, they appreciate their fans, and they interact with their fans, and it's just great to see.
Yes. See, that's nice.
I wish more people were like that. That's honestly, that's how Walking Dead people used to be back when Walker Stalker Con first started. Like the first Walker Stalker Con I went to, they had like a cocktail party one night where you had to have like a VIP ticket to be at the cocktail party, but it was for like fans, and you were just mingling with like Andrew Lincoln wasn't there, and I don't think Norman Reedus was either, but like almost every other cast member who was at the con was there, and they were just talking with fans and having a good time. And it's kind of like, I don't know, I miss that.
To be fair, I mean, it's a lot easier to do that when there's a smaller audience and a smaller fan base, which, you know, a lot of big things don't necessarily have the opportunity to do that because of safety and just, yeah, it's an uncontrollable environment that's difficult to deal with because fans, you know, are great, but they can be shitheads as well. Like,
yeah,
the awfulness goes both ways. You know?
Oh, I agree. Actually, I was just talking the other day about well, gosh, there was a convention here in Florida this past weekend where some like stalker person like showed up at the convention and was threatening to stab
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale, thank you. I was like, it's the girl from those movies, and I'm like blinking. It's on the tip of my tongue, you know. And she like went and dealt with it, like, and had to go file a police report, and she went back to the convention, which, you know, is really cool on her part. But like, you know, then there was that woman who bit Norman Reedus at a convention a couple years ago. Like, y'all, calm yourselves, please. Like, these are the reasons why we can't have nice things.
There's like, yeah, there's a level of bonkers in fandom that you know, the very, very loud minority. You know, and there's just different generational things, like the new fans coming up who've grown up with Twitter, who's like joined fandom with Twitter. They tend to be like more willing to say things to celebrities that I would never say.
Yeah.
Like I joke about like having a crush on Tom Hiddleston and stuff, but if I actually saw him and had to talk to him, I wouldn't. Like I would just be like, no, I don't know what to say. I'm just not gonna say anything.
Yeah. Best just to. I mean, my main like thing is if I see someone that I genuinely love, I'm just gonna lie on the floor until they go away. Just gonna go down, just down, drop.
Yeah, I guess like I don't like, I definitely like Pierce Brown, the guy who writes the Red Rising series, is so fucking attractive. Like so attractive. But like as attractive as I find him, I can't even like joke about anything because I know, like I've met him a couple times, and both times I met him, it's just I'm going up to get books signed. And as I'm waiting the 5 or 10 minutes to get my book signed, like my stomach is like turning in on itself and like eating itself. And my heart is like pounding in my chest. And like by the time I get up to get these books signed, I can't talk. Like my tongue is tied and I say like, hi. And like, if he asks me a question, I answer, and that's it. Like normally
so
you can't.
You can answer the question that he asked you. That is like a step up from me, mate. I would just be like, like, you know, I mean, it's just, I mean, the Twitter thing always find bizarre because, like, I mean, the idea of like the people that I admire, like the celebrities that I admire, actually reading my Twitter feed and seeing the things that I write about them is literally like a horror movie. And then you have all these fans out there that are just tagging them in these things, and you're just like, do you know they can see that? I mean, I know they're probably not looking, but they can see that. And I know that my Twitter is public, right? So they can search and see it. But like, I feel weird about even using their full name in case they search their full name.
Yeah.
I do not need to see.
I probably don't think about it enough, but maybe I should start. You're scaring me, Mom.
I'm just like, I don't. People do not need to see this. Like, it's embarrassing. I know it's embarrassing, but like, you know, it's my embarrassing.
I didn't really have many, like, speaking of run-ins with people, I didn't really have that many this year. Not like last year. So
yeah, I didn't have as many either, and I think it had to do with there's a new hotel downtown, and Nerdist, I think, among other kind of production companies, blocked off that entire hotel, and so all the celebrities were staying at one hotel, and just didn't see as many.
yeah.
I still saw a lot.
I saw like
I did it right next to Will.i.am. I mean, I was like, what? But
yeah, I saw several, but it was always like kind of from afar. Like I'm at one end of the bar, and half the cast of Battlestar Galactica walks by the other end, type of thing.
Yeah,
it's like act cool, man.
Tom O'Pennicott like stopped and took a picture with somebody, and I was like, damn it, if I'd only been at that end of the bar. He's one of my, like, I super crush on him, but I've actually had a conversation with him before. So, like, I feel like I could have one again. And that if I did, like, bad things would happen. So, like, I would probably say things I shouldn't.
Well, see, I just accept the fact that I would not be cool. I think people have these fantasies in their head that when they meet celebrities, they're going to be like super cool and like win them over. And I don't have that fantasy at all. Like even my best case scenario involves me being an embarrassing shit, you know?
Yeah.
Best case scenario is I don't make them uncomfortable. I'm just funny, you know?
That's good.
Yeah, I think every scenario is like I'm not even noticeably crazy, like just run of the mill fan crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so
um,
highlights from Comic-Con. Do we have any?
yeah, Aaron, what are yours? I feel like I barely saw Aaron this year. It was very sad.
I know it was kind of a weird year in my opinion, but yeah, I'm still in the process of getting through my press room stuff. I'm very bad. I'm very behind. But I did, as far as my press rooms go, I attended iZombie, which was great. If you have a chance, definitely watch those videos because they're really funny. I rewatched them again this week. And then Winona Earp. I also did The Gifted and The Magicians and The Expanse. So
Cool.
That's, I mean, I
That's
drank a lot of alcohol. I
Well,
hung
that's
out.
good.
I drink a lot of vodka tonics. A lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't drink, kids. It's bad.
I'm drinking now.
Me too.
I'm not talking to you two. I'm talking about any impressionable youths that might stumble upon this video.
Youths.
Youths. Didn't we have a warning at the beginning? I feel like our webcast should be rated like NSFW.
Excuse me. It's safe for work. We're very professional people.
That's true.
Except for the accidental swears.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I mean, it felt, I don't know, it felt off this year. And I was telling Vaughn earlier that I think maybe part of the reason that it felt off was because of D23 Expo. It was the weekend before.
Yeah.
And there was zero Star Wars presence at Comic-Con this year. And among like other things, I think it was just too much all at once on the big convention circuit. And it just felt weird. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was, I still had a good time and everything. Like I'm still sitting here twiddling my thumbs, waiting for my friend to schedule her wedding so that I can say, yes, I'm coming next year, or damn it, no, I can't. But like, yeah, and don't get me wrong, like I kind of knew it would be pretty much impossible to top last year. But like I think I had more fun in 2015 than I did this year. Not that I didn't have a good time, but it was, I don't know. Like I said, I drank a lot of vodka tonics. I actually went to a panel every day, but most of them, like in the past when I've gone to panels, even fan panels at Comic-Con, I've really enjoyed them. And this year, like a lot of the fan panels I went to were kind of meh at best. And then like I sat through 2 industry panels before the Vikings panel on Friday, and they were both bad. Like the Blizzard panel was just them trying to sell stuff, basically like World of Warcraft and shit. Like I care. And the Skybound panel, which is, Robert Kirkman, the Walking Dead creators company, like it was literally just them, like him and his like board of directors or whoever else. It was all like the leaders of the company were on the panel, and they were just like shooting the shit and sharing personal jokes with each other in front of an audience.
That's a bit blah. That's not really.
Yeah. So I sat through 2 hours. I was literally just playing on my phone the whole time. Like, oh, I just want Vikings now. Thankfully, the Vikings panel was good, but
yeah, I didn't go to too many panels. I had a pretty busy schedule, but I have heard a lot of that same thing, that the panels just weren't as, they weren't as special this year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I went to the Outlander panel and I got to see the first episode of season 3. That was a surprise.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's going to be really different. A really different show in season 3. So
I never finished the first season because there's like a part in the books that you and I, we had talked about that I know happens in the show that I knew I wouldn't be able to watch, but I've thought about, since I read the first book, I know how it ends. So I've thought about picking up the second season. Do so like you have you like enjoyed it still so far? Do you still think season 3 is going to be good?
Oh yeah, I think it
Okay.
will be.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean, thankfully, like after all these crappy panels, like the panel that I was on went interestingly. It was super different than we've done in the past, but it was honestly a lot more like organized, I think. We didn't have as many great audience questions as we have previously, but we talked a lot about more like Song of Ice and Fire theories and stuff, and it was fun and funny. And then I went to 2 on Sunday back to back that were really good, like women creators breaking stereotypes, which was women from the gaming industry who are like both artists and writers. Like one of the women is like, I think she's like the head of creative development for Telltale Games now, but previously she worked on like the writing for the Walking Dead Telltale game. So that panel was good. And then after that was moving beyond the strong female character, and that one was really good, even though it was one of those panels that has like 8 or 9 panelists, which personally I think is like 3 too many. I think anything over 5 is kind of pushing it, and over 6 is ridiculous. So but it was still it was an enjoyable panel. I liked everybody who was on it and what they had to say, so that was a plus.
Cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, anything else? Like,
what else?
Comic-Con, not for me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird seeing. I think Comic-Con has been shifting like in recent years anyway, because like it's so like as geek culture becomes more mainstream, you know, it becomes this kind of thing. You get less kind of exclusives coming out of there too.
Well, I mean, and they know that it's all going to leak. Like, even if they don't release it, somebody else is going to. So now they've just started releasing it almost all of it officially, like the same, like right after the panel lets out, it's released. Or like maybe the next morning at the very latest. Like how D23 actually, I heard that at D23 they were like collecting people's phones. I don't know if that's true or not. It could be just a rumor, but
they have a phone check at D23.
Yeah. You know, so like nothing came out of that, and if it has, like I know that the little tiny clip-ish thing for Infinity War keeps leaking on YouTube, and they keep taking it down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, that's technology. Like stuff is gonna leak. I
kind of think at this point, I kind of think they just need to quit trying. But
yeah, trying to like, I mean, yeah, just embrace it, and I think use it. Use the leaking to drum up interest.
And I think a lot of people are, well, I mean, actually, I mean, like I said, a lot of them are just kind of, instead of bothering with allowing the leaks, they're just releasing it themselves, which is fine too. Like, and the ones that aren't kind of, I don't know, like a couple years ago, I know that a lot of the panel, like a lot of the clips and stuff that I watched on YouTube during and after the convention from panels I couldn't or didn't attend were definitely leaked by fans. But the only one I watched this year that was definitely a leak was Steven Universe stuff. Everything else was stuff that was released by, you know, the production company or whatever.
I mean, I would never look at leaks because I'm not bad, but if I did, it would probably have to do with Captain America's beard.
Oh yeah.
What about Black Widow having blonde hair?
Oh yeah, that's weird.
I know. They've got a new stylist, so you know, new looks for everyone.
She just wants to change up her hair color.
Yeah,
like
she changes her hair every movie anyway. I don't know why it's surprising that she would dye it.
I mean, I'm not arguing with it, so
it feels in character to me. I don't know.
So yeah, I don't know.
More in character of anything else that is going to be in this movie, but yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's all for me for Comic-Con. I feel like I've talked about Comic-Con so much since I got back that I'm just kind of exhausted by it.
So are you still like wrecking people go to Comic-Con, or
am I still what?
do you still recommend people go to?
I mean, I've always been one of those people who kind of, I don't know that I recommend people to go to it. Like, I enjoy it, but the reasons I enjoy it aren't the reasons that I think most people want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna, like, listen, if you really want to see that Walking Dead or Game of Thrones or whatever, panel that you're gonna have to sleep overnight for, you want that experience, like, go for it. It's just not me. I enjoy Comic-Con. I enjoyed it this year, even though it was different. But if somebody asks me what convention they should go to, it's not going to be the first one that pops into my mind. And it's not just it's the costs and everything too. Like, it's expensive. If you don't live nearby, you've got a $400 to $500 plane ticket, and then the hotel situation is so much worse now than it was a few years ago. I really wish they'd bring back their old hotel booking system, but so yeah.
Oh well.
I would never talk anybody out of going, but I'm also not going to try to talk anybody into going. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's something that you've always wanted to do, I think you should still do it. Right. Because it is an amazing experience. But I'm with Tara. Like, I don't camp out overnight because I really just don't care that much about, like, first of all, camping, and second, like, being in a front row. I just don't care. I do care about, like, going to the press rooms and being kind of one-on-one, not really, but kind of one-on-one with the creators and the people who, like, breathe life into the things that I love. I also like to hang out with my con friends. I have, the same group of people that I see and hang out with every year, and that's what takes me back. And I like the experience, but I think the thing that I think that people want out of it are not the same things that I enjoy about it. So
yeah, exactly.
I think that's a really good way to look at it. I mean, I don't regret going, and I'm glad that I did. And I think it's worth making the trip if you have the money and time to, like, make the effort to get there, because it's a lot of effort, and it's a tiring week. But I don't think I would go back every year, or probably go back again unless, like, I had to for work or something.
Yeah. I mean, I like Aaron and I clearly feel the same way. Like, and it's a friends thing for me too. Like, when else am I going to see Stephanie? Because she lives all the way out in Hawaii, and, like, even Aaron, like, you and I, like, that's the only time we're going to see each other we saw each other briefly at Disney. So, like, other than you coming down to Disney World, that's probably the only time we're going to see each other.
Yeah, nobody comes here. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that would be why I would want to go, to see you guys and to meet up with other people, because that's what cons are for me, is meeting other fans.
That's why you should just come to Disney World, and then Aaron can come to Disney World.
Oh my God.
I'm there all the time. I'm like,
Disney World, yes. Disney World trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll talk offline.
It's a Geekiary girls holiday. Okay, so it says here, like, what shows are we looking forward to? And I don't even know, but do you guys have shows that you're looking forward to?
I mean, like, from Comic-Con, it's hard because not much of what I watch is coming up anytime soon. Like, The Defenders is in a couple weeks, and then Stranger Things is at the end of October, and that's like anything else. I'm like, even Vikings isn't until the end of November. Like, most of the show, now that I'm kind of whatever about Walking Dead, I really don't watch anything that is definitely, unless iZombie is starting up in the fall and I don't know about it. But yeah, it's next
mid-season
year.
again.
Ugh. I both love and hate that.
I think iZombie is the only show that I watched. Like I watched Supergirl last year, but I've pretty much given up on Supergirl. So I think iZombie is the only kind of show that I watch that's a weekly.
Yeah, and I heard that where Mon-El is and finding him is going to be a big part of like the plot or whatever for season 3.
I know, that's why I'm gonna stop watching.
Like,
I was like, no, he's the worst. He's the worst.
I just don't care about him or this story. Like,
does anybody? I mean, I think I met one person and they said, I really like Mon-El. And I was like, okay, cool, we won't be friends. And I turned around and walked away.
Yeah, Brian was like, you know, I'm cool. Like, I'm cool with Mon-El, but like, I don't really think, isn't his arc kind of done? Why is this so, like, even somebody who liked the character all right is kind of like, why is this a thing still?
Yeah, it's like he's that one character on TV shows, you know, when like everyone involved in making the show obviously really likes him and no one actually watching the show can understand why. You're like, it's not like he's not the worst thing ever, but he's pretty boring. Does it really add anything to the show?
Pivoting off of that, because I have no idea. Shows, I think that this fall actually has a pretty weak lineup of things, from what I've heard, as far as like network TV goes. Midnight Texas premiered last week on NBC, which I think is very strange timing. But I don't know. I watched the premiere. It wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I guess that's something.
Well, and like I'm sure Fear the Walking Dead is on its mid-season hiatus right now, but it's got to be. It comes back this weekend.
Oh, no. Do you know what I am watching? I am watching the final season of Teen Wolf. I came back. I went through and I watched the 30 episodes that I missed when I wasn't around. And it was a slog. It took me a whole weekend and a lot of wine. But I did it. And I did it just because Derek Hale is coming back. And I love him that much that I'm willing to sacrifice everything about myself for him. But so I'm watching this. It's currently airing. I'm watching the final season of Teen Wolf. I might write like a post-mortem when it finishes about.
Another show I am what?
How good it is. No, it's not good. That was
I will be giving a try to The Gifted. I really enjoyed the press room. Like, I liked Stephen Moyer is just delightful. He's just great. And but I don't think it's going to be very good. Sorry. But I'll give it a shot.
Is that the one with the guy with Ramsey Bolton in it?
No, that's Inhumans.
I keep mixing the two of them up because
that looks terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I heard from some other people who will remain nameless that interacted with the cast of Inhumans a little bit at Comic-Con, and apparently like the cast has like no off-screen chemistry. They don't interact with each other at all, and like if you don't get along with your cast, that will translate on screen. So
well, that's that.
I'm not gonna
watch it anyway. So
I'm not going to say anything like specific, but just gonna go with you on that. Also, we do have a comment on our live chat that I on YouTube that I am trying to respond to, and it will not like YouTube. refuses to let me respond. It's like actually really maddening. Like I'm trying to type in it and it's not. But somebody said that we should check out Lucifer, which like I was at their press room before they even started.
And I was in their press room last year too.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I just I feel like I've heard good things about it, but like I want to hear somebody tell me that there's something about it that I just can't miss. Because it's kind of like a procedural, and like I know that's what iZombie is as well in a lot of ways, but like I had people telling me, I think it was you, Aaron, like watch this show. There's so much more to it than just the week to week, you know, murder mystery or whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, Lucifer's on my list, but it keeps getting pushed down because other things that people hype up more get pushed up, prioritized. So yeah, I mean, like I kind of want to watch it. I think like you know, what I've seen of it, it looks fun, but there's nothing kind of going, yes, definitely. I might be wrong, you know, like I did not want to watch Black Sails, and then I did, and it was great.
I watched, I think all of the first season of Lucifer, and it's just, I don't remember any of it. Like, it's just not memorable to me. So, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I think I'm getting more picky about my TV shows.
Eventually. Yeah.
I mean, I watch everything. Whether or not I like it, or like if I remember it, that's a different story. But yeah. I can usually tell right away if I'm going to like something. So
I do know that Trisha Helfer is in Lucifer. So like that's one of the reasons why I'm like, ooh, I do want to watch this eventually. Honestly, it's kind of one of those shows. How many seasons has it had now? 2?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like once there's been a few seasons of it, it's one of those ones like I'll end up binging. Because like that's just kind of, that's how I almost always start watching shows. I either watch them when they've already finished, or I start them partway through, and that way I have 3 seasons worth to binge. Like,
yeah,
even Supergirl only having 2 seasons kind of wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Well, now everybody has all 3 seasons of iZombie on Netflix.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Everyone
I even got my mom to start watching it. What?
Yeah.
It's like my favorite show, and I just want it to be here forever.
I just want it to be good forever.
watch the press room, because it was pretty good.
That's a cast that I feel like most, if not all of them, must have like great rapport with each other outside of filming. Because like,
yeah.
They're always on each other's social media too. So.
Yeah, like they're all best friends. Like I believe that Ravi and Liv are best friends. I believe that Ravi and Major are like bro TP, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
You can seriously though watch the press room. Like Robert Buckley was there this year. He plays Major. He's really adorable. Like he outright said in the press room that like they can't tell him secrets on the show about the show because he will spill them. So like instead of talking about what's going to happen in season 4, he just talked about like fun things that happen on set, which is kind of fun, you know. But you know, I think there's always a deeper meaning on that show, and like next season, because of the whole reveal at the end of season 3, next season is going to have a lot of parallels to like the current crisis or whatever that's happening in the real world. So lots of parallels. It's going to be interesting.
Nice.
Spoiler alert.
I'm hyped. I will watch. I love iZombie. I think it's great.
I just talk about it all the time. I can't stop.
I know. It always makes me happy. Like,
yeah.
when I get home and I'm like, there's a new episode of iZombie to watch, I'm hyped. And then I watch it and I'm like, that was great.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I want from TV. There's not a lot of TV that does that.
There were a couple episodes this past season where I was like meh about certain parts of them, but it was still like the show as a whole is driving forward, and I'm not even if there's something I don't necessarily love about an episode, I'm not enjoying it in any way, shape, or form. Unlike literally every other show that I have reviewed.
Well, it's so different, kind of, you know, and there's so many kind of like episodic elements that you're not going to like every episode completely. It shifts and changes things, and I think that's all right. You're allowed, like, as long as it's still enjoyable. You're like, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if there's anybody watching this video that has not yet watched iZombie, we're going to keep talking about how much we love it, because every single person that I've gotten to watch it loves it. And so do yourself a favor and just watch it.
Yeah.
And no one believes you. They're like, I'm not sure. And then they watch it and they're like, this is great. And I'm like, yes, I told you. Why didn't you believe me?
I'm pretty sure that iZombie and Helix are the only shows that all three of us have just like been in love with.
Yes.
All at the same time, like unabashedly. And Helix was ridiculous, but it was so amazing.
But everyone that I told about Helix and watched it, they were like, yes, I love it, I get it. Like, we don't go crazy about any show. No. Just certain shows. And when we are going crazy about these shows, that means you should go crazy over them too.
It's something for everyone in the show, because we all like it and we're different. So
exactly.
All right, guys. So moving on from just talking about how amazing iZombie is, because I'm sure that's going to get repetitive. Upcoming events. What have you guys got coming up?
I mean, I have Dragon Con later this month. I know.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. You wrote this in the thing. Dragon Con.
Yeah, Dragon Con. So I'll actually be there the last Thursday in August. So like unless you guys like really want to have the webcast the last Thursday in August, like without me, we can do it the first Thursday in September, and then I'll have Dragon Con to talk about. But yeah, that's the end of this month. As every year, I got approved for interview requests, but Dragon Con is kind of different. It's not like a press con. It's not like Comic-Con. Really, most conventions aren't. So I submitted some interview requests. I don't know if I'll get any. I'm kind of okay either way, because that's, you know, press isn't why I go. But yeah, I'll be there. Like the con itself doesn't actually start till Friday morning, really, but and it goes through Monday afternoon. But I'll be there like Wednesday through the following Tuesday morning. So, and I'm on at this point, I know I'm on 5 panels. I think it's gonna be. It could be more like 7, 8, or 9 by the time I should find out the rest of my panels, hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, I'm doing like a Game of Thrones season 7 recap, Game of Toxic Masculinity, which is about toxic masculinity in Game of Thrones, and then
lots of that.
Yeah, and then there's also going to be a like Looney Theories panel that I'm really excited about, because it's more like an activity than a panel, where we're going to have like a whiteboard or something at the front of a big whiteboard or whatever at the front of the panel room, and people, like not just the panelists but the audience, are going to be able to suggest like crazy theories and like reasons why they're legit or whatever, and we write each theory down, and then at the end we vote on which one is like the craziest. So that's like a 10 p.m. Saturday night panel, so there's definitely going to be drinking involved like before it even happens, so I'm excited about that. And then I think I'm moderating like a 100 fan panel. I don't even know what day that is. And then and I'm on a Ladies Guide to the Apocalypse panel that I'm pretty excited about on Sunday afternoon. So
nice.
So yeah, and lots of cosplay. I still don't really have my cosplay stuff finalized, which is bad because it's like less than 4 weeks away, but You know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I haven't like done big cosplays at all this year, so this is kind of stressful.
Stressful. Another upcoming event is New York Comic-Con is coming up sometime soon. Like I think it's the first weekend in October. It's usually that weekend. So Jamie is going from the Geekiary. I don't know who else is going, so it's a surprise. But we will be there. So not the three of us.
No.
The Geekiary
will be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Is it just Jamie this year, or is Dot?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. I really don't know. I'm a little out of the loop. This is my busy season at work in the fall, like late summer, fall. So I'm really like, I have no idea what's happening. After Comic-Con, I'm pretty much, don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. I started a new
we'll figure it out.
I started a new job this like the the end of June. So like between that and like Beach City Con is in October, and I am preparing for Beach City Con is a lot more work and a lot more stressful than Ice and Fire Con has literally ever. Like even when I was like the most stressed I've ever been about Ice and Fire Con, it was not as bad as this one. So.
Well, it's a good learning experience, Tara.
Yes, it's a very good learning experience for why I'm not really sure I want to do this ever again.
Okay, well. Yeah.
Fair.
Cons. Jeez.
Yeah.
They're fun, but they're stressful, but they're fun. Oh, well.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So recommendations. What are we recommending for August?
Winona Earp. It's a TV show. Just watch it.
That is actually like top of my list.
It's top of my list. I've got it. I've got it queued up. It's ready to go.
We're in the middle of season 2 right now. And I don't want to give any spoilers away because that would be bad. But it's such a great show. It throws tropes on their heads. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But I mean, I feel like this show, if it had a bigger audience, has the potential of changing TV forever. Like that's
wow.
Yeah.
Is it available on Netflix or anything?
I do believe season 1 is on Netflix, but again, season 2 is currently airing. It's on Sci-Fi, so you can get it like on Sling or whatever if you have that. So
cool.
Watch it.
All right. Well, I have been going to the movies a lot, and in the last couple of weeks, I've seen a bunch of movies, so I'm going to rec 2 of those. The first one is Dunkirk. Which is a war movie, so if that's not your stick, then don't see it. But it's really good, really suspenseful. Like, it's only a short movie. It's like exciting without being exploitative, so I recommend it. It's really beautiful, and if you have the chance to see it in the 70mm, then you should do that. And the other one is Atomic Blonde, which is really trashy, but just delightful because it's got it's you know, your basic run-of-the-mill action flick, but with Charlize Theron. So I've
heard it's really good.
I have too.
It's a good time. It's a good time at the movies. So it's not got a lot of depth to it, but yeah, good time at the movies.
I'm like, you know, I think Vikings is an older show. It's been around. It's about to enter its 5th season at the end of November, but I think I've got to rec Vikings. The reason why I love Vikings is that, like, while there haven't really been any outright, like, LGBTQ pairings or whatever, they don't shy away from like hinting at those relationships. And like when asked about whether or not they're, you know, that whether or not like there was that sort of interest between characters and stuff, the people involved have always been like, well, yeah, this back then they kind of just did whatever the fuck they wanted. You know, so like while it's not necessarily shown, it's not like Teen Wolf where they're just like sort of faking you out with characters. Like these characters are like sort of fluid in their sexuality. They just maybe don't show it. I wish they would. But yeah, and also it's just generally like it's not historically accurate, but it's just a really enjoyable show. It really is. It's based on legend, and so while there is some like historical, you know, fact here and there, they are able to take a lot of liberties, and I don't know, it's just fun. Lagertha is fucking badass. Like to this day, one of the best female characters I think I've ever seen on television. Like screw every female character on Game of Thrones. I'm not talking the books, I'm talking about the show. Like the Michael Hurst, who writes Vikings, he knows how to write a badass female character because it's not just Lagertha, he's written several of them. So yeah, like if you haven't watched Vikings yet, you can get, I think it's on, yeah, it's either on I think it's on Hulu. I want to say it's on Hulu. So the first 4 seasons are on Hulu. So it's good.
Cool. Excellent. I mean, I saw the first season and I really liked it, but I haven't watched it since then.
It gets a little slow in the 3rd season, but it picks right back up in the 4th season. And like honestly, like also so many attractive people in this show. Like so many attractive people. Like you can really just watch it for the prettiness, the dirty prettiness. So yeah.
Cool. I enjoy dirty prettiness. That is a really good reason to watch things. All right. Well, I don't have a question. Does anyone have a question?
I am never good at
Actually, I do actually have a question. Have you guys seen the film clip to Charlie XCX's Boys?
No.
Okay, you have to watch it because it's basically just like attractive dudes doing stuff like having puppies and holding babies and washing cars.
I've heard it. I mean, I've heard about it, but I have not watched it.
Watch it. It's like looking into like what the female gaze is. It's great. But my question is like, if you were going to create a film clip which had boys doing like attractive boys, who would you choose and what would you have them doing?
Something with horses, like nice. like training horses and riding horses and like mucking stalls.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Erin?
None of that. Sorry. I'm a little more like domestic. I don't know. I would think like I don't even know.
Well, I mean, I guess like for
making food.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Cooking.
Yeah.
Like for me, I will say like I grew up writing like English and everything. So like for men, it actually was like it was a woman's world. Like the horse world that I grew up in was a woman's world. So when you found an attractive straight man who was also like riding horses and mucking stalls by your side, it was like, whoa.
I feel like there are
I totally get it. I just
I'm not a horse girl either, but I get it like from a perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, because I would just want, like, I know exactly what I want. I want Tyler Hoechlin with a whole bunch of kittens.
Kittens too, yes. Kittens, yes.
And I also want One Direction having a pillow fight.
Of course.
Yes.
All right. Are we done? That's it. Anything to add?
I don't think so.
That's it. All right. Well, I'm gonna just
get
this one out. I'm Von, and I'm here along with Tara and Erin. Thank you for joining us for Feelings with the Geekiary. And remember that we are a free webcast run off donations from viewers like you. So thank you for contributing to our host guide, the Geekiary. And we will see you at the start of September. So bye.
Bye.